Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an episode of Career Mode. And as you guys can see, instantly I was rejected by Bale. They told me I need to pay more money for him, and I was like, I just don't have infinite bank accounts, so we're gonna have to wait a little while. And I do, just before we go on guys, I want to say a little apology for not getting a video out yesterday. I went to a little event over in the UK called iSeries, and it's very much a competitive gaming sort of thing, and I just went along to have a look, and unfortunately I wasn't feeling too well, so I had to come home earlier than expected. But I went and I just watched some of the competitive FIFA, and it was unreal, some of the guys over there, and they're actually streaming some of it. So if you are interested, a friend of mine is actually running the entire competition, so I'd really appreciate it if you went over there to the stream and just said, just supported whoever you wanted to support, but let them know I sent you. And yeah, let's get into some career mode goodness, because we have so much awesome stuff coming up soon. And I was playing it yesterday, I was like, holy shit, I can't believe this just happened. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy it, and as you can see, we have 8.7 million and a 111,000 wage budget to burn, and it's going to be interesting to see who I can pick up. You know, as you guys are well aware, I really do want a sort of a right midfield player. Both of my wingers at the moment tend to really stick towards the left-hand side. That's Saidi and Sterling. Both of them can play on the left wing, so I'm really looking for a right winger. I mean, I have Downing, but I just don't feel as though he is going to become anything sort of extremely special. As harsh as that might sound, I really do want some young players that are really going to grow along with the likes of Raheem Sterling, going to grow along with the likes of, you know, Saidi, Sturridge as well. I really want this team just to really turn into an animal of a team. But anyways, CRY there, who looks really good. You know, I've played with him plenty of times on Ultimate Team, and he has just been magnificent, so I really did try my best to see if I can grab him. Suso there, who's actually some really good young talent, and I figured, you know, why not add him to the mixer, see what will happen, and just kind of get a feel for what Bayern were looking for him, because if I can offer anywhere sort of near that, that would just be perfect, because he looks like my perfect sort of right midfielder. But, you know, still looking down that list, you got quite a few players there, and a lot of players that I've actually never really considered, one of them being Cuenca there. Cuenca plays for Barcelona. He's around 9 million, and one of the things with him was I didn't know whether he was actually going to be that good, so I was a little bit nervous. In fact, he looked a lot like the sort of right wing version of Raheem Sterling, just because of the fact that he has got a lot of pace, he's got a lot of agility, you know, and just that really sort of real quick athlete, if you will. You know, got good dribbling, that sort of thing. But I have to admit, you know, on that left wing, for me, I prefer Saidi to the likes of Sterling. I didn't really enjoy Sterling as much as I thought I would do in the beginning, and which has really kind of let me down, I suppose. And I just felt as though Cuenca would be very much a mirror reflection of that, but on the right wing, you know, because they would both, for me, feel as though they'd be kind of weak players. But you know, that, to be honest with you, I've never played with him, so I'm just making these sort of assumptions and judgments, and which I really shouldn't do. But from what I've seen and from what I've gathered, he doesn't seem like he's going to suit my team too well. Another player I'm very interested in was Lamela. Lamela looks quality. There's been a couple other career modes that I've done where I've actually tried to approach him. I don't think I've ever actually signed Lamela, so he is definitely on my target list. He looks like he could be a really interesting player. And if we just take a look at some of the players on my bench, I mean, I have a team packed full of youth, you know. Wisdom there is, for me, going to be one of the most exciting. A player who has literally been at Liverpool since the start of the very first season, and I just can't wait to see if this player is going to be amazing. I am so excited. And really close there from Crystal Palace, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys here. Crystal Palace gave me such a hard time. They were really tough to go and play against. And as you can see, they were just firing shots at my keeper. Keeper did a great job, though, just to keep it out. And, you know, kept it a 0-0 for an extremely long time. Sturridge there with a great cutback. A little bit of a weak shot, especially considering it was on his left foot. I honestly expected a little bit better. But, you know, it is Sturridge, and you can't expect good things all the time. But, you know, Crystal Palace were literally making me cry. It was so hard to play against them. I don't know what it was. They were playing so well. Look at the passing they are doing. They're just opening up space in my defense, and I don't know what it was. They were just playing so well, and yeah, I really did just struggle against it. And there, managed to get myself a little space and pop off a shot there. Unfortunately, it wasn't good enough, and you know, we had to go back for round 2. I actually played Suso in this game. Suso is a right winger with a lot of potential in him. Plays a really good ball back there, but unfortunately, Munane there with a really sort of poor and weak effort. I honestly expected better. I understand it was a sort of first touch sort of shindig, but still, I expected him to do a little bit better instead of skyrocketing it over the top of the bar, very much like Sergio Ramos's penalties. But yeah, so I mean, they are coming so close. Their Sturridge, electric pace. He is just so quick, and there again, it's like, where are your goddamn shooting boots? That should be in the back of the net every single time. So I was like, you know, maybe EA are just like, he's had way too much luck recently. Let's give him a bit of the dick, and let's make sure Crystal Palace serve it up to him. Serve up a bit of the sausage. But it's some good play at the top of the field for sure. You know, we're starting to get some more opportunities now, which is great to see. Munane makes a great run there into a bit of space, and he actually does a fantastic job of finishing that, making up for his horrible effort earlier on. And we actually end up winning 1-0, which is a huge win, especially since, for me, I feel as though Crystal Palace really deserved that win. You know, they played so well. You guys saw the opportunities they had. And man of the match goes to Ulreich there. Ulreich just played so well. You guys saw in the highlight clips there, he was saving them left, right, and center, getting his Spider-Man hands on, and just played so much better than anyone else on that pitch. After that game, though, we were back to the negotiations. We were back to the, you know, the transfer window side of the whole game, which I thoroughly enjoy. I'm keeping an eye on Cuenca just because, you know, maybe he will be that one player that I decide to go for. But, you know, like I said to you guys before, there's some aspects that I do like about him and some that I don't like about him. But I thought to myself, you know, what is the harm in actually, you know, getting a proper look at him, seeing as, you know, what his squad role is, how much he gets paid per week, that sort of thing. And he's actually only got, you know, about 2 years left on his contract, so maybe he'd be a little bit better to buy at the end of this season, or maybe even sometime next season when he's really low on his contract. And a lot of the times, you know, a lot of these players, they end up getting around to the 1-year marker, and next thing you know, they've been bumped up to an extra 3 years, and they end up going up to a 4-year contract or something like that, which can be a bit of a letdown sometimes, because, you know, you wait a little while for their contract to start to wither down. That way you can pick them up for a little bit cheaper than usual, and then next thing you know, they sign this big long-term contract, and you're like, fuck, you know, now I've got to all the way from back to the beginning, and I end up having to pay a lot more for the player. But as you guys can see, I was very interested in just shoving in a bid for him, see what I could get, because just because you put a bid in for the player doesn't mean, you know, even if it's accepted, it doesn't mean you have to go and buy him. You know, at the end of the, once you've gone through the contract negotiations and everything, you get a page that said, you know, stall, accept, or reject, or something like that. So, you know, you can really make your mind up right towards the end, and I feel as though that's what you guys should be doing a lot of time. Just because you might not be interested in players, sometimes it's worth just putting a bid in, because maybe you won't get that #1 player you were looking for. But as you guys can see, those were the three I was really looking at. Shaqiri there, Lamela, and Bale. Those were the three that were definitely top of my hit list at the time. And, you know, it's just, sometimes things aren't going to happen. But I ended up bumping up the deal to a 9.9. So that's pretty much 10 million plus Suso. And I really thought that that might be enough. But we'll just have to wait and hear back, see what we get, see if we get an email from Bayern Munich. It'll either be, yeah, sure, you know, that sounds reasonable, or are you fucking delusional? Get the hell off, and never email me again asking for my players. Again, I decided to put in a bid for Lamela, and it was Suso involved in it. I kind of feel bad for Suso. I've kind of involved him in a lot of transfers recently, but I hope he still loves me. And that'll do it for today's episode, guys. Like I said, I do apologize for yesterday's no episode shindig, but I should have an Ultimate Team video up a little bit later on today. And I hope you guys all have a cracking day. Hope your Sunday is good, and I hope you have a tasty Sunday roast. I'll see you guys on in a little bit. Bye-bye.